Dan Willis here, and we're talking about how to clear your credit history and specifically how to pay off collections. Debt collections are one of the most common type of bad credit, but if you're currently dealing with obnoxious phone calls, aggressive debt collectors with their demanding letters, and even emails today, it's imperative that you know your rights and you're familiar with the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, because that really very clearly states what time of day they can call you and some of the language that they can actually use to collect this debt. But one of the bigger takeaways that the FDCPA gives you, it empowers you to first request account validation. If you're currently dealing with debt collectors, the very first place to start is to request account validation. You should do this in writing and using certified mail so you have evidence of your request. Once the collection agency gets your request, they're required to respond by providing you with proof and evidence and documents and paperwork that shows, yes, this is your account, yes, this is legit, yes, this is on the up and up. After all, it's not like you did business with that collection agency. So please do that as the first step before you ever negotiate with any debt collector, because if they do not validate your debt, and that's not uncommon, then you're no longer legally responsible for payment. Further, that item is required to be removed from your credit report. If they do validate it, you're going to receive that paperwork back that proves, yes, this is your account, yes, it's legitimate. The next thing we want to do is investigate the statute of limitations. This is a state law, so investigate your local statute of limitations, but it's a time limit, a time window for how long you are legally responsible for payment of that debt. It does not apply to every type of consumer debt, but it does apply to the overwhelming majority of them. Medical bills, credit cards, car repossessions, the overwhelming majority. Some of the few exceptions are federal student loans, federal taxes. There's a handful, and it's only a couple of them. Everything else, it's about, and it's generally, investigate your local listings, but it's about 7 years from the date of last activity. And one of the sneaky, dirty, illegal things that many collection agencies use is to re-age consumer accounts. So you can't ever get out from underneath this debt. It can feel like. If you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Now, if your debt is legit and it's within the statute of limitations, the next step now is to negotiate directly with that debt collector. And there's two big takeaways with this. First, always, please, always negotiate to settle your debt for much less than the total balance. There's a whole variety of reasons, but this balance is often inflated astronomically, and debt collectors expect you to negotiate and settle your account for less. Typically, depending on how old your debt is, you may be able to settle for as little as 10% all the way up to 40%. Generally, the older it gets, the less you'll be responsible for paying. But you can always settle for much less than the total. That is the biggest takeaway. The other thing, in exchange for your payment, you must get that collection agency to agree that they'll stop reporting your account information, because this is essential to getting that item off of your credit report. And one of the biggest reasons why we don't just pay this off, and why it is not good to just pay off any debt collection, any collection item, all that's going to do, it's going to change the status of that collection listing on your credit report. It's going to be changed to a paid collection. A paid collection is not a good, positive credit building item to have on your credit report. And many consumers, their credit score will see that paid collection as recent activity. So they'll see their credit score drop as a result of them being responsible and taking action and paying off that collection. It does not make any logical or rational sense. And FICO has openly acknowledged that in their newest credit scoring algorithm 10, they finally have implemented some steps so it makes more sense. So if you pay off a collection, that it would sort of help your credit score. But the big problem, and this is almost predictable, No lenders as of today that we are aware of or have heard of are even using the FICO 10. They're all using the old FICOs. And as of reports, nobody has to use the new FICO 10. So as of today, 2017, and moving forward for the foreseeable future, you're still going to have your credit score lowered by paying off. It can be by paying off. There's no benefit to paying off collections and having a paid collection show up on your credit report. And often there's a detriment. So please, please, please be careful of that. If they do, and when they do agree, when you get that agreement, then you want to make your payment, they're not reporting your account information, where Nick's going to have to exercise more of your rights under the Fair Credit Reporting Act. We talked about this here in the last video in detail, but essentially we're going to file a credit bureau dispute. Once the credit bureau has conducted an investigation into that item, they're going to contact that collection agency and ask them for verification of the account. As per your settlement agreement and them not reporting your account information, that item is not going to be verified. The Fair Credit Reporting Act says that any item that cannot be verified by the credit bureaus must be removed from your credit report. That's how we clear that item from your credit report. Please, millions of items are cleared every single year from consumer credit reports. Please don't fall victim, and please don't just live with this for that maximum of 7 years. That's the maximum. There is no minimum. So if you'd like some help, and we encourage our members to consider professional credit repair help, legal and legitimate services that are affordable and very reasonably priced. There's many good ones, but one of the best is the Credit Pros. They've helped their clients remove late payments, debt collections, tax liens, repossessions, foreclosures, and many more negative items from their credit reports. If you'd like some help, you can get a free credit consultation by calling toll-free 1-877-418-7596. Again, that's for a free credit consultation, and the toll-free phone number is 1-877-418-7596. This is Dan Willis. We're going to include a link in the description below over to an article on our website for the full story. We also have a free report available there, the 7 proven ways to boost your credit score. Have a wonderful day, and please subscribe and join our congregation. Looking forward to talking to you again here soon.